It is so beautiful to feel all of you, feel your openness and joy. And yet so receptive and so quickly to settle in to your being. And also to notice that the silence has a lot to teach. The silence is not empty. It is full of knowledge, which is undistorted. So this is why one of my great teachers, which is Papaji, in his satsang meetings, he would always used to say, just stop. Just stop and be quiet. People would come to him and ask him many mental questions, and he would just say, stop. Stop the search. Stop trying. And be quiet. And it seems to be very simple, isn't it? To stop and be quiet. But through the quietness, through the inner quietness, then truth starts revealing itself. And it is also so enriching and so beautiful to see that, because in a retreat, some say it's like a booster. You come to a retreat and you boost yourself up because you might already feel your vibration. Maybe you're okay. Maybe you feel some inner challenges you're working on, but generally, overall, you notice. You notice it's a high vibrational living that we are all together tasting. All together you can directly experience that in first-hand experience. And knowing that it is, of course, possible to carry this with you in your life. And of course, with that requires certain continuous training. Just continuous training, just continuous remembrance, to slow down, to come into your being, to become more and more present. And really, you do not need to remember much of what we have been speaking about, but rather implementing that so that you can integrate that by applying these maybe techniques or steps or ways to remember to come back to you, and keep it very simple. Keep it very simple, because the present moment is simple. If you are presently here, taking care of the present moment in your utmost, best ways, how you can do that by being conscious, just being conscious. Some say being mindful. Maybe that would be the first steps to someone who is just starting to bring more conscious awareness into their day-to-day life. But being mindful means, being there's mind in that, which is okay in the beginning, because it's important for us to, let's say if you're eating, to be with the food that you're eating, not thinking about the next moment. If you're having a shower, to be in that moment of having a shower. If you're drinking a cup of tea, you are mindful of the cup and the taste and the drink. So this is step number 1, mindfulness. Becoming mindful of how you speak, how you act, how you move. It's all very, very great. But then you start coming closer inside you, more into this simplistic but profound state of your being. Your being. And for that, one of the practices is to stop, learn how to stop and be quiet. Stop and be quiet. Learn how to be quiet inside. And that was one of the main teachings of this great master, Papaji. And Papaji has also been very close to me, since I can really feel the presence of beings. He was one of the teachers that was working very close to me, guiding me through his presence and guiding me through, teaching, teaching by transmitting that what he is. And I do very much love his very simplistic but very profound teachings. And so something that you can take home with you, or even at work, is to take, let's say, 8 or 10 times in the day, where whatever you're doing, you stop and you sit down. And you sit down for no reason, just to sit down. To sit down and to stop and practice the stopping and being quiet inside. Yeah? And it's a really, really good practice. So you take these gaps throughout the day and you just sit down for the sake of sitting. Nothing, absolutely nothing to do. And also that within itself, you also start training your body, your mind to still down. Yeah, because of course, when we sit down, you might notice the body, it wants to move. It's a bit irritated because it's so used to moving. So when it sits down, it feels a bit challenging to keep it very at ease and relaxed. And so this practice will help you, the higher you, to train the body to be still, to train the mind to be still. Thus you start managing and retraining this body to stop, this mind to be quieted. And you can do like 5 minutes, just 5 minutes through the whole day, like maybe 8 times, depending how many gaps you can give to yourself. So even if you're at work, whatever, wherever you are, just stop for a bit. And that will make a big effect. In a month's time, in 2 months' time, imagine like 6 months, that you look back and you start seeing the effects of you being able to control, manage the body, and not the body controlling you or the mind controlling you, but you start living from your higher self, thus being able easier and easier to manage this force and pull of this energy inside us to take us out of ourselves. Some call this, discipline. It is a bit of a discipline, to retrain yourself to be quieted, to be still. And of course, that does not mean that life stops there. It's not about freezing in the present moment, but it's just a way how you can integrate your higher self, your beingness. And the results of that is ever so enriching